Dear friends, welcome to the channel, The Eastern Front. During the Second World War, there were many times when parents died and the children became orphans. Some of them were lucky, if we could say so, and officers from military units took care about them. And these children between soldiers called son of the regiment. Today we will talk about destiny of one of the little boy who survived and was adopted by the commander of the regiment. During the fighting in the Kozelsk direction in August 1942, the reconnaissance of the 142 Guards Rifle Regiment of the 47th Guard Rifle Division found a little boy in the forest. He was covered in scabs from insect bites, could not stand, could not speak normally. The scouts brought the baby to the headquarters dugout. The boy said that his name is Sergei and his last name is Alyoshkov. The child couldn't answer the question about his parents. He just cried. Later, it turned out that the boy's father died before the war. His older brothers Ivan and Andrei went to the front, and his mother and 10-year-old brother Peter were shot by the Nazis for their connection with the partisans. They decided to leave the boy at the headquarters of the regiment, and the regiment commander Mikhail Danilovich Vorobyov officially adopted Serozha on 8 September 1942. In early November 1942, Vorobyov's regiment was sent to Stalingrad. Sergei Alyoshkov had recovered by that time. His uniform and even boots were sewn for him, and the boy considered himself an adjutant of the regiment commander. Every morning, Serozha came to the headquarters with a report on his readiness to carry out assignments. The kid usually carried newspapers and letters around the unit, read poems to the soldiers and sang songs. Alyoshkov performed his first feat on 7 November, when he carried the festive issue of the newspaper Krasnaya Zvezda to the divisions. The boy noticed that German fire spotters hid in a haystack with the radio. Returning to the regimental headquarters, Sergei reported this to the commander of artillery intelligence. Enemy spotters were neutralized. When shoulder straps were introduced in the Red Army in 1943, Sergei was jokingly handed the shoulder straps of a junior lieutenant, which incidentally caused the injury of a small soldier. German pilots returning from an air raid spotted an officer with the shiny shoulder straps. The pilots fired machine guns and one bullet hit Sergei in the heel. The boy was sent to the hospital, but after recovery he returned to the regiment again, which was welcomed both at headquarters and in all units, since the baby had long been everyone's favorite. Sergei ran after his foster father like a trail, and this saved the life of the regiment commander. Once during an artillery bombardment, Vorobyov threw a boy into a crack, a narrow pit in which they were hiding from raids, and he jumped into a dugout. A few seconds later, a shell hit the dugout. The boy realized that he himself would not be able to pull his father out. He ran after the sappers who saved the regiment commander. For this feat, Sergei Alyoshkov was awarded the Medal of the Military Merit. A mistake was made in the name in the award order, but the feat of the little soldier is described correctly. To reward the son of the regiment, Sergei Andreevich Alyoshkin, for the fact that during his stay in the regiment since 8 September 1942, he passed a responsible combat path together with the regiment. On 18 November 1942, he was wounded. As a child, always cheerful, fell in love with the regiment, the command and all those around him. With his cheerfulness, love for the unit and others, in extremely difficult moments, he inspired confidence in victory. Comrade Alyoshkin, the regiment's favorite, and the commander of the 8th Guards Army, the legendary General Chuikov, awarded Serozha with a captured Walter pistol. Together with his adoptive father, Serozha more than once found himself 2 steps away from death. In May 1943, Serozha, during the crossing of the Severny Donets River, an explosive wave overturned the raft on which Sergei Aleshkov was sitting. An unknown fighter saved the baby, who immediately dived after the drowning child. The second case was just a childish prank of a child, which could end tragically. Sergei decided to take a ride on a sanitary cart pulled by sheepdogs, but the dogs, seeing the mongrel running through, rushed after her, pulling the cart towards the enemy trenches. With great difficulty it was possible to catch up with the rider on the motorcycle. After crossing the Dnieper, the commander of the regiment, Vorobyov, and Sergei, by a miracle, remained alive. Returning from the army headquarters, they accidentally touched one of the diffused mines lying on the shore. The explosion killed the driver on the spot. Vorobyov was shell-shocked, but Sergei was simply thrown out of the car. The child didn't get a single scratch. In the same 1944, already in Poland, Sergei Aleshkin's frontline service ended with the order of the commander of the 62nd Army, Vasily Chuikov. Sergei was sent to the Tula Suvorov school. The boy was initially rejected for health reasons, but after Chuikov's intervention he was still accepted into the school. Aleshkov took up sambo and boxing, then entered the higher military school. But the frontline adversities made themselves felt. Therefore, after graduating from the Kharkiv Law Institute, Aleshkov began working as an investigator. Then he moved to Chelyabinsk, where he worked as a prosecutor for a long time. The last years of his life, Aleshkov worked as a legal advisor at Chelyabinsk glass factory. His adoptive father survived his stepson by only a year. Sergei Andreevich died at a bus stop on 1st February 1990. Dear friends, that's all for today. It was Tim and the Eastern Front channel. I wish you peace and health. See you.